Hello.
Hey.
What up? Hey. Welcome to another night at the pool house. Hey. We've got, of course, the fashionista. Beautiful, fabulous. She's dressed like a clueless character tonight.
Yes.
So cute. So cute.
Thank
Miss
you.
Danielle Middleton.
Hey.
Hey. And tonight we have a special guest. She's
Special.
Danielle's sister.
Very
from
special.
Atlanta, Georgia. She's visiting us tonight. Kirsten Sprewell.
Yes. Hey everybody, it's your resident therapist Kirsten Sprewell, aka Spree, and you can follow me at Spreeisms, SPREEISMS, Spreeisms.com as well.
All right, guys. So we have a submission for a
Block that ass. Smash that ass.
Here we go. I cannot wait for this. Because Danielle is ridiculous.
Let's see it.
Hi, my name is Marilyn. I'm kind of like in a situation where I don't know what to tell my friend. So she's currently talking to this guy. They've been talking for about 8 months, I would say. And he's like a huge pothead. And she doesn't know if she wants to actually start a relationship because she really wants to focus on herself and school and work. But she likes this kid. She really cares about him. But parts of her feel like he's not putting 100% as much as she is. No. And she really wants to go out with him, but she has no idea what to do because she feels that she's been hurt in the past, and she of course doesn't want to get hurt now, and she doesn't want to look like a dumbass, and you know, and it's like, who would? So at this point she just like has no clue, because it's like it's between going and putting your heart out there and not knowing what to do, or just literally looking stupid, you know what I mean? And it's just like I don't know what to tell her, because it's like I don't want to give her the wrong advice, but it's like she should do what her heart wants. But it's like it's me just telling her to jump off a cliff and be like, go for it, get her, you know, like I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Yeah. Danielle, should I smash or block that ass? Like, what do I tell her?
I wouldn't like block him.
You would?
Yes, because like she already doesn't like the fact that he's like smoking, and she's keep second guessing herself. So I would block his ass quick.
Really?
Yeah, because then you're just wasting your time. Quick. Then you're just wasting your time because she already has built up these things, like he's not doing this, he's not doing that, so I'm trying to focus on this, I'm trying to focus on that. Like she already really answered the question in her, you know, question.
You're right. Good observation.
Good job, Danny.
Wow. You're really the blocking whisperer up in here.
Word.
Up in her.
Up in her.
You gotta have boundaries. Mm-hmm. You gotta have boundaries, and whatever your boundaries are, it's up to you what your boundaries are or what your values are.
Yeah.
But then you just gotta stay in alignment with them. If something is out of what you feel like are your values and your boundaries, like this is where it crosses the line. You smoke too much. You have to abide by that. Otherwise, you're gonna be sacrificing comfortableness. You're gonna be sacrificing happiness, and also, maybe some of the other thing, maybe your personal goals. If you helping him spend money on marijuana and whatnot, or whatever, you know, marijuana and whatnot.
Yes, the doja,
that loud.
Devils. Oh my God.
Yes,
how do you determine your boundaries though?
Boundaries kind of come up whenever you feel uncomfortable. Whatever.
Like you say, I don't want you lying to my ass on fuck your ass up. You know, that's a boundary.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a boundary.
Okay, but like, here's something I realized about myself. Actually, like I had a hardcore realization about this week. That I'm a hypersensitive person.
Word.
Are you?
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm working on it.
I cannot tell that from you.
Yeah, I know, right? Because I put up this front. But like I'm super sensitive and I take things really personally sometimes when I shouldn't because it's not about me because my ego's in it too much.
What's your sign?
Taurus.
Okay. Whoa. Okay. Go
Whoa,
ahead.
What?
Whoa.
That's very interesting. Okay.
So tonight's topic is lying and snitching. Like, biggest question of all, is it ever okay to lie?
It is okay to lie sometimes.
Oh.
Yes. It is okay to lie because I feel like sometimes you have to protect people, right? In order to protect a person, you might have to say they didn't do something that they actually did, or to protect their feelings. A white lie is okay, which I hate that saying white lie.
Why do you hate that saying?
Well, I just think it has like racial backings to it.
Does it really?
Yeah, I think white is always okay and white is always right,
what
or it's
the
always like
heck?
an
I
okay
didn't even put
thing.
that together. She just said it.
And then like what the opposite of white is black, so then a black lie is like not okay.
Oh my God.
But that's just semantics, whatever.
My mind is being blown.
Boom.
So, you know, a white lie, I guess, is okay because it's not hurting anybody. It's actually protecting somebody. And then I just think that sometimes telling the truth is going to do more damage than it is going to help somebody, right, in certain situations. But a lie can really hurt people over time. Like, there's certain things that don't need to be protected, and there's certain things that just don't need to be lied about.
And where is that line drawn, though? Because it's like, okay,
If somebody innocent is being hurt.
I don't know, because like I think you should always tell the truth. I think you should always tell the truth. Yes, we all think, but I know that everyone has lied in their life.
If somebody innocent is being hurt in
Yeah.
either situation, that's when it gets kind of like, I understand why people would lie, and that's
Yeah.
But
why
define
you
being
can
hurt, because if you're telling a white lie to spare someone's feelings, like if I don't
Okay,
like your
so
outfit tonight, and I'm like,
it's-
girl, you look fine as fuck, but in my head I'm like,
No,
she looks terrible.
Well,
Right.
that's not your. See, that'd be
that's
the
more
thing, because we're always
opinion.
like, oh, she ain't got no friends.
No.
If she's walking out looking like that, right?
But that's more of an opinion. Like a lie is like, I wasn't at the pool house on Friday night at 7:30. That's a lie. I'm not saying like how you feel about someone, because
So
like
when
you not
feelings are
like
involved,
it. Because
that's
if
not a
you're,
lie?
But
no.
if she asks you if her outfit looks good, then you have to absolutely say yes.
You have
or no.
No, she just has to tell the truth. I want you to tell the truth. I want you to tell me if I have like something in my teeth. You know what I'm saying?
That's not a lie,
another
though.
question. That's another question.
is
though.
not
but
a lie.
her-
Not saying something is failing to include some information, lying.
Yes.
Yeah, it is lying.
Oh, but then what if you want something to be private?
No.
You know what I mean?
I do understand that. So that's not necessarily lying. If you give information to answer their question, then that's not lying. You answered their question. You just didn't tell the whole story.
No, ma'am.
That's kind of lying, though.
Yeah, that's lying. Because let me tell
But
you.
that's a white lie, no? Which makes it okay.
Let me tell you something.
That's a loophole.
yeah,
You
that's what you just
find
said.
a loophole.
Just like the government does. But I'm saying, okay, so for example, this Chloe, what's her name?
Tristan.
What's
her name?
Jordan
Julia.
situation. Right.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I blanked out for a second. If she really did sleep with him, but she just told Chloe, I only kissed him to protect her feelings.
What she said
she's
is
lying.
he kissed her. Now that's a big fat lie. If she slept with him, that's
Right.
a big fat lie.
But I'm
That's
saying
not a
like
white
she
lie.
omitted something to protect him.
No, to protect herself. And if you're doing something to protect yourself and you're guilty, then you're not an innocent person, and that's not a white lie, and that's not okay.
So there are different types of lying, and okay, this is totally like generalizing.
I don't think
here,
there's
but I
different
think-
types.
Yeah, there's
no,
types.
No,
Okay.
There is. There's lying to protect
Oh, I
someone
guess
else's
yes.
feelings.
Oh, yes.
Like me lying. This is so fake because your outfit is adorable.
Okay.
But,
so funny.
but like, for example,
Just
if I
in case.
lied and said your outfit looks good, and I
But
really
is your
think it
opinion
doesn't,
really a lie? I don't think that's a lie.
But
though.
look,
Opinions are opinions.
Yeah, see,
but
like
you're lying about it. You're lying about it.
About
Okay.
your
No.
opinion.
So there's
Lying
a
about your
difference.
opinion.
There's a
Yeah.
difference between lying about to protect someone's feelings versus lying to like make you seem like a better person. You know what I mean? Like prop yourself up a little bit. Like, yeah, I know.
Which
how
is
to do
what
that.
Jordan
I did that
Woods
before.
might be possibly
I climbed
doing.
my Mount Everest, or you know what I mean? Like, there's like
Those are lies. Yeah.
Versus like
That's a narcissist. Yeah.
I guess.
That would be like narcissist behavior. Lying to make yourself look better.
Right.
Yeah, that's high narcissist behavior. So I feel like that's wrong, right?
Yeah.
Those are people who really don't have empathy. So if you really hate the hat, then that's actually having empathy. That's protecting somebody's feelings. And I feel like that makes it okay. But when we start talking about really dark things like this person didn't hurt me and they actually did, then those are lies that are never okay. We need to, be truthful about that, and we need to feel safe enough to come forward about that. But I also feel like, which is another point, people do not feel safe enough to tell the truth about a lot of things. And so when you start lying, when you think about, what's the rapper, the guy, is it 6ix9ine?
Oh, Tekashi
6ix9ine.
6ix9ine.
What happened with that?
He's snitching on everybody.
Wait, what do you mean?
Right, so he starts getting all these charges.
Even know who he is.
So he's a rapper that just kind of came up out of nowhere.
Okay.
Basically.
Like got big in a year, right? And then now
But you know his songs. Pull up one of the Tekashi songs.
Yeah.
For the queen.
You got the right one.
You got the right one.
He's telling lies. He's snitching on people. And this is somebody who came into the rap game and then just started kind of like fronting and wanting to be in gang culture. And there was a lot of innocent people whose lives were put in danger, or people who died because of the crimes that they did, right? But he's like snitching on everybody. Now that is truth. Like, we have to start telling the truth when it involves innocent people.
Snitching as in he's telling the truth about what they did?
I believe he's telling the truth. Yeah. So he's getting
Like
all this time off. Criminal activity. He's snitching to get time off.
Damn.
Yes. And that is something that happens a lot when you see somebody going to jail and then all of a sudden they out of jail. It's like, what were you telling? Clearly.
You was snitching.
Clearly you was snitching.
All right, so when is that okay? When is snitching okay versus when is it like fucked up? Okay, so let's just say you and me were driving in the car together and
Right.
I hit a car and like it got dented.
A little bit.
And I'm like,
A little bit.
and I drive off.
Yeah. I mean, that's
What are you
wrong.
going to do?
You were the one on the R. Kelly episode talking about, oh, my sister, if she kills somebody,
Yeah.
blah, blah,
I'm
blah,
still going to
blah.
love her.
Right.
I'm like,
I am.
So if me or Pega dent
I
the
said-
car,
What do you do? Do you snitch on us? Do you tell
you
the
be
cops?
down, right?
Yeah, I'll be down. Like,
But you're
we
her
keep going.
sister. Okay, and
I have wrote a lie out to my parents that I've dented the Suburban. Like, they know that I did it, but I ride the lie like I didn't do that shit because I wasn't supposed
damn.
because I wasn't supposed to be at my boyfriend's house at that time. So then they would ask me like, "Where were you?" All this other stuff. So I was just like, I don't know what you're talking about. That didn't was there.
oh, but then you're also the block that ass chick.
Yes, really
You're the one
quick.
who's like, you block them, and then if you see them, you happen to run across them. You're like, I don't know who you are.
Right. Who the fuck are you? Like that?
Oh, really? I don't remember.
Right.
Yeah.
After you got blocked
that's
from
your
my
personality,
motherfucking phone,
so-
you got blocked from my memory.
Sorry.
Sorry. Dead.
I don't know. That's like a hard situation though, because it's like
I don't think
it depends on who you're loyal to.
Right.
Right. And
That's
it's
different.
also cultural because, like, in the black community, it's like no snitching.
No
which,
snitching.
like I said, really ends up being very harmful and traumatic to a lot of people because they're like, we don't tell our business outside the house and all that. And
Yeah.
so if somebody in the house is harming you, you often are not telling somebody that it's happening to you.
Wait, somebody outside of the house?
Somebody outside of the house, or even sometimes you might not tell your mother if her boyfriend is hurting you, or it's a lot of
Do you see that a lot in your
protection.
practice?
Yes,
Really?
I see a lot of teens that come out about something 7-10 years later, and they realize what happened to them, and it's like they were kind of like protecting that person they never told, because they might have been threatened, or just different things that might have come up, or even just the cultural thing of not telling your business and not speaking to somebody.
A cultural thing.
Yes,
like, for real.
Yeah,
like you cannot do that. Like gang culture, like they don't approve of you snitching at all.
Yeah,
or like in jail, you cannot snitch. I don't even know, but you know what? Like I saw an interview, like because you're talking about T-Pain. I saw an interview on a radio station, and one of the guys was like, he has a family. Like after you have a daughter and you have family to think about, sometimes you just want to like, I need to get out of jail because I have my own family to think about. So yes, I get that, but I don't know. Like I'm walking a thin line between snitching and just like, you should just tell the truth. I feel like they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Well, snitching is telling the truth.
Yeah.
But you know what else?
Or you could be snitching and be lying on people.
Yes.
Okay. That's
but
possible.
That's the reverse.
Definitely not
That's
okay.
That's not snitching. That's just straight up lying.
Okay,
though.
so
probably.
So not snitching is kind of lying, actually, in a way.
If you don't snitch, you're lying.
That goes back to that.
No, if you don't snitch, you're not
withholding information.
No,
withholding information is
if
lying.
you
We all
don't
said that.
snitch and you don't tell the truth, that's like you want to, what is it in the law? Like
Plead the fifth.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not if you get asked a direct question.
You can
if
still
you say
plead
I plead the fifth, that's something different. But if you say I don't know, that is a lie. Because
I would be saying plead the fifth all the time.
Do you say that? Then I know what your answer is.
I say nothing. I just be like,
God damn.
That's wrong too.
Especially
if
like,
people who are innocent are being additionally harmed by you not saying anything and not coming forward.
Yeah.
I do get the family thing though. Like if you have a family, it's like, nah, I'm trying to get out this life. I'm thinking about me first. Like I totally get it. But you also signed up for that at the beginning too. Like this is no outs. And they tell you that in gang culture, like there's no outs. For life. This is for life. So
True.
You have to understand what you're signing up for and being accountable. And that's a whole nother thing that goes, in alignment with lying, like being accountable for your role and stuff. And coming clean about certain things.
So with the lying thing, like where do you draw the line of like, do I choose someone who lies about little things to not hurt my feelings because I'm sensitive?
Or
you feel me? Like, do you know what I mean?
You. Yeah.
Like where, you know what I mean? Like,
okay, like the funny thing about you saying this is like when I text you about stuff,
yeah.
I try to, I'm like, do I? And so like, I feel like I have to read it because I just
read it out loud first before you send it.
I do that because I don't think you're sensitive, but then I just realized I probably do think she's sensitive because I'm thinking about the text before I send it to you.
Really?
Because sometimes I'm like, my mom is like, oh, your tone of her text. I'll be like, Mom, I didn't mean it that way.
Right.
But
like,
maybe it's a realization about yourself. Like maybe you think you're mean because people have said you're mean, because I do that.
Okay.
Like based on people thinking I'm mean.
Yes,
maybe it has nothing to do with
mean,
her.
You're blunt.
Yes, I think
You're
it's a
blunt.
difference.
So that's the thing. See,
It
it's
may
funny.
come across because my
Straightforward
tone
is what I've gotten.
The
Yes.
thing is, like, once you take a step back from it and you're like, no, that's just how Danielle, she's just blunt.
Yes.
She doesn't mean it in that way.
Right.
Yeah.
See, that's the
And
thing. It's like realizing who the person is. So you take it
personally,
circumstance by circumstance, depending on who it's coming from.
Because at work, literally people think that I mean. Like if like the first or second, third day when they see I'm acting, they're like, oh, Danielle's mean. But really, when I start communicating with them, because I'm very mean. Like
to the point.
Yes, like come on, like what are you doing? Like get your life.
Do you have no patience?
And yes, my patience is wearing down. But I think it started doing that like when I had Zoe. I started having like no patience for adults.
For adults.
Because you know better. Right. You are fucking
I already
wrong.
have to deal with this with a child. Like, why do I have to deal with this and you're 29?
Right. I be feeling the exact same way. But I would never think that you are sensitive.
I didn't either until recently. People have been telling me that my whole life, and then I like had an epiphany the other day, and I'm like, damn, like have people been tiptoeing around me my whole life? So like I'm gonna work on it for sure and get some real perspective, because it's like, what do I feel like the world revolves around me? Because it doesn't. Like get out of your own
But
head.
being sensitive doesn't mean that you think that the world revolves around you. Like having emotions are okay, but it's just how you regulate them. So when your feelings are hurt, then do you make other people feel like so responsible for that? Or like what type of things, how do you regulate that?
It's an internal battle.
Internal battle.
Always.
Okay.
Well, my feelings are hurt, I'll let you know immediately.
Oh, really?
Yes. I'll have a quick
and that's
attitude.
so she doesn't have to carry it around.
Yeah.
Where is the line drawn with lying and white lies and you know, lies that are just there to like make you feel better and not hurt your feelings? And it's like, on one hand, it's like we all say we want the truth, right? But like at the end of the day, if someone was around we all have that really blunt, straight to the point friend who's like kind of an asshole sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
And we kind of don't like them sometimes, and we don't want them around sometimes.
Right.
Or you don't tell them certain things because you're like, I already know what you
want
to say. Right. But
so
that
like,
should be, I should be your subconscious. I am the subconscious that tells you block his motherfucking ass. And then you have yourself over here.
Yeah.
Just like not wanting to know.
Right.
Yeah.
But you should want to know the truth. That's what I'm saying. Like, I want you to tell me, Danielle, your purple lipsticks don't match with your neon shirt. Like, just be like, so next time, I was like, you know what, Peggy was right. I was tripping today. I was mad high. Let me put on like a nude. A nude or something. So like, I think that's why I give it to people.
Yeah.
Because you want it in return.
Because I want that in return.
Do you really though?
I really do. I really want. I want you.
If you know you can take it, you do want that, and then you just do however you want to be treated. You just treat people that way, right?
Really?
But I really think that we need to start treating people how they want to be treated, and if maybe, and then you also set that boundary of like, I don't want to know what you think about my outfit, because if you don't like it, it's gonna hurt my feelings. So I just don't ask no more, right? Like if I like my outfit, I like my outfit. If I don't, then I'll change, right? Don't ask people questions you might not want to know the answer to.
Right.
It's almost like going through your nigga phone and you really don't want to know the answer.
Okay, if you're going through someone's phone, you're gonna find some shit.
Yes.
You're
every
going
time.
to.
Like every time.
You're going to. Even if it's kind of innocent, mostly innocent.
You're going to find
innocent,
what
like,
you're looking for. So then you're going to manifest and put something. It could just be like, hey, love you too.
Right.
To an old home girl from like, I've known her since second grade, yo.
Right. But
love you too. Like, ain't nothing wrong
Don't
with that.
Don't say it's a home girl. Say it's a guy. I'm not tripping out you telling a girl you love them.
What is it? What is it then? What do you trip off of that is basically innocent, but if you found it in the phone, it would look bad?
I know the difference. You got to read the text for a while.
Oh my gosh. You the feds though.
Yeah, I am the feds. I look for sexting. I go straight to images and see what pictures y'all been sending each other.
I'm not a phone person. I don't lurk, but I can feel that.
Yeah, like I'm reading it for a while because like I tell my best friend I love him. So like you can't really base it off something. Like I need to see how do you love this person? Yeah, like how do you love this person?
What type of love?
Right. So I am definitely a phone looker and I'm a stalker. Mom says.
I actually don't use my energy in that way. My energy has to be really, focused on manifesting positive things.
That kind of lifestyle to me, like living my life, like questioning everyone, like thinking like, is she lying to me? Is he lying to me? Is that true? Is that not true? Like, I don't want to live that life.
No, but you also can feel a vibe. You're not really living that.
Exhausting. Yeah, that's true. You feel it.
You feel it, or like you can tell in body language. Sometimes they don't even necessarily have to say something.
That's if you're good nonverbal communication,
right? If you're lying or whatever,
therapist.
Or like you could tell in people's like body language. My mom thinks I'm a compulsive liar.
Oh shit.
Are you?
Or because like sometimes
I
she'll just
would
act-
not. I probably would not debate, but compulsive is kind of strong. Compulsive is a
What are you
strong.
lying to us about?
Because
do I even know you, bro?
Okay, so
Do I even know you, Danielle?
You do. I'm just saying, like, she'll ask me where I'm like, why? Like, I don't know. I'm in the bathroom. Like, I just like make up something really quick.
Why?
I don't-
Because she's either spending money and everybody is needing to hold her accountable to be financially responsible.
All right, I'm like, what do you like? If she's watching, I'm like, I don't know. What do you, like, I'm in the store.
What you talking about?
Right. Or when people say, "Are you on your way?" I say, "Yeah, I'm on my way."
That's
I'm
that's
still
a
in the
white
house.
lie. That is a white lie. That I don't know.
Everyone tells that lie.
Does everybody tell that lie? Because I
10
thought it was
minutes
a black
away.
thing. It's like everybody be like, you know, I'm 10 minutes away, or I'm getting off the freeway. Really, you're getting
on the freeway. On the freeway. is what
Those
I'm
are
getting.
lies that are okay to tell because who is it hurting?
What
really?
makes it okay
Yeah.
to tell that lie?
Because
though?
it depends on you're using logic and like also just who is this hurting really logically
the
this is
person
not
who's
hurting.
waiting for your ass.
All right, who made a reservation?
Easy. I've been waiting here for 20 fucking minutes right now.
Right.
Like, we need to get to the event. Like,
But that is true because like I talk
You're hurting
also
someone.
about being considerate of other people's time.
Yeah.
So like you,
time is valuable.
yeah,
man.
unless it's like a party. You know, you can show up
party.
late.
A party.
You can show up late.
Right.
But if
If
it's
Here's the thing.
If you're taking them to like an appointment or something.
Yes.
You're like, oh, I'm getting on the freeway, but you're like really not.
and now I'm late for my appointment.
And now I'm late for my appointment. Like that's messed up. Now you're messing with somebody's well-being, or you know their job interview,
their
or
money.
whatever.
You're fucking
right?
with their money.
You can't be fucking with people's money. So that's something that's hurting an innocent person.
we are okay. We are here today.
Yes. Yes. Okay, but my question for you guys, especially you, because I feel like as a therapist, you have to know the inner workings of the brain or
see.
whatever.
Or
is
giving brain.
when you start telling little white lies like that, like, oh, I'm on the freeway, but you're not, or whatever. That becomes a habit. When you practice something multiple times over a long period of time, it becomes a habit.
Right.
So, like, isn't there something to be said about that? You form the habit of lying and you start telling white lies, and that morphs into something else.
Yeah. So if something becomes compulsive, it becomes
Compulsive, that's it.
Yeah, if it becomes compulsive, then that's a problem because then it starts negatively affecting your daily functioning, your interpersonal interactions, and maybe your job or school. These are the things that we identify as something that is like something we need to address, like, oh, you need help. When it starts negatively affecting your daily functioning, right? So if you're lying to everybody all the time, then that is when it becomes an issue.
So if you're lying to like protect someone's feelings all the time, is that an issue?
Yes.
That is an interpersonal issue, yes.
It's
That
like a
would be
fake
an
relationship.
interpersonal
Right,
At a
because you're
certain
not being
point.
honest.
Yes.
If someone is my friend and anyone who's really close to me knows, like, I do not play about people who are like my real core friends. So I want people to just be honest, and be real. And it's hard, like, to fake a relationship. I fell out with one of my close friends, and we are trying to reconnect a little bit, but it's just like I cannot be fake. It's so hard.
It is a lot of energy to be
Yes.
fake.
Yeah.
And then you have
it's so draining.
like Danielle was saying, when she just kind of tells how she feels immediately.
Yeah.
Because then you start having things pile on you.
That's so
And you're
true.
trying to keep secrets, and you got to keep up with the lie and all of that. And so I do think that even if you're lying to protect somebody's feelings, that's something that becomes compulsive. And why do I not feel safe enough in this space
To tell the
truth. Like, my friend gonna cuss me out because I say I don't like her outfit? Is Pekka gonna block me because, you know, I said that, hey, this wasn't the best podcast topic or something like that, which is totally not the truth, right? But, you know, that is when it becomes an issue. Now it's negatively affecting your interpersonal interactions. And
you know what? That part that you said early, one of you guys said this earlier, is like, you treat people how you want to be treated.
Yeah.
That's so freaking true. Because sometimes I find myself like sparing people's feelings by saying, like, when they ask me if I like something, I'm like, yeah, I like it, but I'm a terrible liar, so you can tell that I'm lying. But it's like, I'll say it anyways because I feel for people. Like, I'm empathetic because I am so sensitive. Really, it kills me. You know what I mean? Like, I will have a lot of sleepless nights because I feel bad for people.
You just gotta like tell your truth and move on.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, you can't be like
a good point.
So what do you tell people who come to you and they're like that? Like,
so definitely with harboring things that I have a client that's never speaking up for herself. She's not assertive at all. So we're working on some assertiveness skills because then you're harboring all of that and now you're in a situation that you're not happy with, or people continue to do things because you never said that it was a problem.
That's so true.
That is how you need to start building boundaries and being assertive, because at the end of the day, you do have to protect yourself, protect your peace. And so when you start, just self-caring in that way, which I don't think a lot of people think like, oh, telling the truth and speaking your truth is maybe self-care, but it is a form of self-care. You have to just release energy. Tell people no. Like,
oh, girl.
No is a complete sentence. Okay? Period. No. Period.
Right.
But don't you find that like some people don't ever find what their boundaries are because they spend so much of their time like worrying about what other people
are thinking.
Right. Yeah. And so then you start, and that's when you feel like you need to, come into yourself, spend time alone. Whether it's meditation or prayer or whatever, taking walks, whatever you do, learn in writing lists, journaling, learning what you really like.
Can I ask you a quick question?
For sure.
Let's be real here. Okay, this whole meditation craze, like right now it's such a trend.
It is trendy.
And I'm gonna be real here. I just like paid for an app, for like a meditation app to just test it out. Because like my sister's been telling me that I need to meditate and et cetera, but like it's like such a big trend right now. Like, are there real benefits to meditating versus doing anything else like working out, or from what you find?
From what I find, I find that working out is a form of meditation. There's a lot of different things that people think you need to be sitting like this. Right. Like that's meditation, but that is a form of meditation. It's a type of meditation. But then, having sex could be a meditation in a healthy way, a form of exchanging energy, a form of honing in. You have tantric sex.
Oh my God, I've been wanting to try that.
What is that?
You should try it.
You have it for like a long ass time.
What?
But it's on and off.
But it's like on and off.
It's like you're building up and then you're like nah.
Yeah, it's like a
delaying gratification.
Yeah, and so then and that teaches like self-control. That teaches like a whole different spectrum.
You need to look it up.
Of
it's
things.
Like bomb.
Have you tried it?
I haven't tried it. I just
said I know it's bomb.
Because like,
it's a bomb idea.
Yeah. Right? And I'm like, I need to try it. I don't know. I need to try it though.
Try it tomorrow night.
Okay. But I get what you're saying about self-meditation, because I honestly have never self-meditated like in those ways. But I think like if I go get a massage, or if like meditating to me is getting my nails done. I think like anything that you do for yourself.
Anything that centers you, alone time, like that's what I feel like we need to broaden the spectrum.
Yeah. So you don't have to just be sitting there in silence. Even though like me going to work in the morning, I have to be like in a good mood. So like my meditation is like either listening to like something to mellow me out because I know my day is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Like that's like me meditating before I get into my space.
I listen to trap music on the way to work.
I know you do.
I get hype.
Hey.
And that just,
What's
like,
your favorite?
I really like 2 Chainz.
His album is bomb.
Sway in the Morning. Okay, I haven't listened to it yet.
So good.
Okay, yeah, I haven't listened to it yet. Or Sway in the Morning, like I have Sirius XM, and so I just kind of like bounce between the channels, and whatever song is good, that's what I listen to. Any up tempo. Mm-hmm. And the vibrations of the music, because that energy is important, right? Mm-hmm. Is so transferable. So that just kind of like lifts me up.
Hey.
Gets you ready for the day. Do you think your meditation is you going to the gym?
It is a form of meditation for me, for sure, 110%. For a while there, I kind of lost touch with that though, because I was like starting to make it part of my job.
Oh, okay.
Because I was recording them for Instagram and stuff.
I did see one.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, it is for me, like recording it and all of that and like making those videos. Like it's fun and it's really like, it's a creative outlet for me.
Right.
But at the same time, it was at a certain point, it became like, ugh, I need to do another workout video. Let me think about what I'm going to do. Like,
yeah.
you know, like
Word,
it started to become
I
a
feel
chore.
that.
Right.
So I turned my form of like release, my form of me time into a chore. So I'm like, okay, let me take a step back from this. Mm-hmm. Let me remember why I started working out again. And like, let me think of it like that again. And like,
That's
find
so
my love
important.
for it again. And then
Yeah.
I can do that again from a healthy standpoint. I know for you it's cooking. Cooking
Yes.
is one of my
Yeah, you be
cooking.
getting down, girl.
Trying.
Oh, those chicken wings.
It is like
so good.
my thing. Like I like to be in that space, and I kind of hate when I'm interrupted while doing it. Like even if like Zoe asks me, I'm kind of irritated, but I'm not like as like, okay, Zoe, you can help me. But I like to do that on my own.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
your
my
therapy.
thing. Yeah, that's my thing. And I like you know how like you give therapy to other people. I like cooking for other people because I want them to say like, oh, this thing, this wasn't good. I know you was trying something new. Stick to the old thing.
Okay, so that truth doesn't offend you. So like,
no, because like
really,
it helps me
if
get
someone
better.
says that was gross.
Yeah.
That was nasty.
But you have to have tact.
That's true. That's true.
But it helps me get better. Right. It helps me progress. So I feel like you do need that one friend to keep it real with you.
Sometimes you don't want that friend. Right?
Okay, well then don't call them.
When you're being sensitive, yeah, and you definitely know which friends
Definitely
to call.
don't call them
Okay.
on your
Because
period.
what about the friends? And I want to know what you think about this, Pega. Go ahead.
I don't know what you said.
Oh, I said definitely don't call that friend on your period.
I was gonna ask Pega, like, what about when you are wrong, or like if you're doing something that maybe you shouldn't have done, or maybe you're being impulsive or something like that. Like, do you want your friend to tell you the truth, or are those moments where you're like, I'm trying to be 26, like, don't be judging me
At all.
So here's what that makes me think of is in my last relationship, it was a really like messed up relationship. And I didn't see that while I was in it. But I was like in love with him, head over heels. But like this guy went out and got a tattoo of my name on his arm like 6 months into us dating. And I knew that was wrong. I knew like, I don't like that. I didn't want you to do that, but you did it anyways as a move to keep me with you, to kind of like manipulate me to stay with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So I only told 2 people. The fact that I only told 2 people says a lot. But then on top of that, when I did tell those 2 people, I kept talking the entire time. I was like, yeah, I know it's kind of fucked up, but I know this, I know that, I know it's really soon, but this, and this, but this. So I was like, I wasn't leaving room for them to give me their feedback intentionally. Like I knew from their facial reactions, I knew by knowing who they were, and I knew by like using my logic that it wasn't okay, that it was weird, that it was off, but like I didn't want to hear it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
did
like
you
we
end
lie
up
to
dealing?
ourselves
Oh yeah,
all the time.
That's never
That's
okay.
the big thing is we lie to ourselves all the time.
Yeah, but you also have to sleep with yourself at night.
Yeah.
No, you know
So,
what I mean.
yeah,
I'm
so
saying
you
when
have to go to bed with
at
yourself.
night.
That's true.
You have to go to bed and like, are those thoughts not killing you? Like,
That's true.
So how do you rest easily? Is what I'm saying. Don't make that pause like y'all didn't know what I was talking about.
We got it, but I was following Pega's lead. To be honest, I was like, I'm gonna wait for her to respond. But that is true, though. Like, you gotta live with yourself at the end of the day. So, like, keep it real with yourself. Like, always be 100 with yourself, even if you lying to other people. At least
You know
be
you're
real with
going.
yourself.
That's true.
You cannot live a life know that you're lying to other people all the time. That's crazy.
It depends on your level of consciousness.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing, is consciousness and knowing yourself. Because
Yeah.
at that point, I didn't know that much about who I was yet. I kind of morphed.
So I have
into
a
who-
question though about
morphed
that.
Depending on who I was around. You know?
Did
what I
you
mean?
end up handling that? And this is so did you end up handling that situation in a healthy way on your own without getting feedback from others?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I ended up breaking up with the person
Okay.
a few months down the line, but
So here's my thing with that, because I just want to know.
I didn't get feedback from others, though.
Yeah, you didn't allow that space. You were talking.
Exactly.
And so that's the thing. Like, even my other sister, like, she'll call me like, I just want to vent. I don't
Right.
want advice.
I don't want to
Yes.
hear it.
I don't want advice. I don't want feedback. I don't want to hear it. So, and that is okay too, because sometimes, that's just cathartic to just kind of like get it off your chest, even, especially if you know that I know the right way to deal with this situation, but I just want to talk about it out loud, right? So I understand what you were saying, but I also think it's not necessarily wrong that you weren't allowing feedback, because you said that you were handling it, in a healthy way.
Oh, that's interesting.
So then I would just text you a week later, like, so you want my opinion
Or no.
Yes. No, because after I ended that relationship, one of my best friends told me, like, she's like, I actually kind of feel kind of guilty because I didn't tell you this when you were together, but I felt like it was wrong.
Now that's messed up.
I felt like
if she knew before you knew.
but
some people don't follow their intuition, so it's not like she did it intentionally.
Yeah.
But some people, we don't follow our gut feeling all the time.
But it's also
that's something
about
I'm
the
working
energy
on.
you give off to that person. If I'm giving you the energy that, like, no, girl, I don't want to hear it. Like, I really don't want to hear any of that truth. Right now. Like, how much can I blame the other party if at the end of the day I knew deep down
That was not cool.
Yeah.
When you start talking about narcissism, though, it can get really extreme. So I feel like if there's ever a hint, and I've been doing a lot of research on narcissism recently,
Really?
and so I'm just like, if there's ever like a hint of narcissism where it's unhealthy, and we all have like some type of level of narcissism, but some levels are healthy, and when it becomes unhealthy, it's like you need to say something. Say something, bro. Say something, sis.
What are the healthy levels and what are the unhealthy
So
levels?
I could tell you the healthy levels that I'm
Go
a
ahead,
therapist.
because she got
Wait,
them.
what?
I can tell you the healthy levels.
What
and
about the
I'm not a therapist.
Oh, you're not.
So
I thought you were.
the healthy ones are taking a lot of pictures of yourself and posting them because you think you look bomb as fuck. I think I think it's like more of like how we talk about like self-care.
Yeah.
And more of knowing like you got this, you could do this. It's like your inner voice telling you like it's okay, like don't worry about it. I think those ways of like narcissistic are okay.
I don't even think that's narcissism. That's confidence. That's
But some people can think it
true.
can be.
Well, definitely taking a bunch of pictures of yourself would be like a small sign of like narcissism, right? But that would be something that's okay. It's harmless. But when you start not having empathy for other people and making everything about you, so now you can't have friends anymore because we're in a relationship.
Yeah, we're friends.
Okay? We're friends. You don't
And
need no
I
more
have
friends.
another guest up on this bitch.
Exactly.
Okay, because we're friends.
That would be narcissistic, right? And just lacking empathy completely. I used to date this guy, and he was he would tell this like long ass story about some shit, and then when I get ready to like say what I'm about to say about the story, like, oh, I had an experience like that too, and then he'd be like on his phone immediately.
Oh my God.
Like narcissistic AF.
Oh
okay.
my God.
Okay.
If you don't know what AF is, y'all, you can just read these subtitles. Okay. He was narcissistic as fuck.
Yes. You start
So
messing
you're
with other people's
You're
safety
lying
and stuff.
with yourself at that point when you're around a person like that, because you're convincing yourself like, oh, it's okay. That's like
Just who they are.
it's
Yeah.
who they are. They're a good person. at
And
the
like
end
you
of the
said,
day,
you're a narcissist. Like he was manipulative, and narcissists, and this is where it also becomes unhealthy when they start gaslighting you to believe like you're the wrong one. Like they'll tell you a different version of the story you experienced, and you're like, what the fuck? Was it my fault?
Right.
What the did I
question your reality.
You'll question your reality. Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that shit is fucking narcissist. And
It's insane.
that is unhealthy.
They're really. Do you find that they're really intelligent people? Extremely intelligent,
And
right?
good, and obviously like often
Charming.
good looking, charming.
Yes.
Like they're really sociable, and you might even like the stories they're telling, but they're like telling them all day to everybody, and they're always the center of attention. You know, and it might be good stories, but why does it only have to be about you?
All right, so while we were on break, we were talking about a situation with getting nails done, getting hair done, stuff like that. Okay, I can't tell you guys how many times I've been in a situation where I've gotten a service provided to me that I paid for that wasn't what I expected or wanted, but I was like, okay, thank you, like, and I paid them and left.
So
I know your ass would have been like,
Hell
you
no.
need to fix this.
I'm not gonna lie, I do that too.
Okay,
Bristol
when
gets
is that
these
okay?
poppin'.
Sparing someone's feelings
No,
and that kind of lying, is
when
that okay?
you pay for a service, you need to be honest. You're paying for something. I mean, almost like I think it's kind of okay to lie, even when you get something for free, because then they're like, well, you didn't pay me. So then you're kind of like irritated. But I feel like when you pay for something, you need to say something, because you're paying for a service and you're paying for someone to do something you asked for. Especially like my nails. Like, I'm not playing.
Yeah, you're not playing.
So how do you tell them? So like if they mess up your nails, what do you say to them? How do you word that?
Okay, so for example, the chrome was coming off of my nail a little bit. I just sent a picture. And I was just like, hey, not in a rude way. I'm just like, hey, like, it's coming off. Like, I've only had my nails done for a week. You know, whatever. You can explain whatever. And yesterday she fixed it for free. Because I only get my nails done once a month. Like I said, that's my meditation.
Right.
So when I'm meditating, like, I want my stuff done correctly. So if there's a problem, like, you definitely need to say something. Or if you don't like something, like, you're here, like you're talking about. You need to tell a lady, like, no, this is not right. Or why did you tell me you were going to do something and you couldn't do it? Now I want a discount.
Yeah, no, we were both lying to each other. Because,
Can you explain the situation again?
Yeah, so I got a recommendation to go to this lady to get my hair done before I flew to LA. And I got my hair done from her. And so when I get there halfway through my hairstyle, she's like, yeah, I've never really done this before. But you lied. You said that you could provide this service and you really did not have the skills to provide this service. And so now I'm here in a pickle because I'm actually getting my hair done at your house. And I don't want to make a scene in front of your children and husband. So now I'm just like being all coy, like, okay, thank you so much. See you next time.
Right.
Because I do what you do.
Right.
I
and you're
protect
not
people's
actually
feelings.
happy with
I was
the
not
service.
happy at all. Same thing happened with my nails. And I was like, what the F is going on this week? That
Right.
people keep providing services that they don't know how to do. And I just was like, oh, just make it clear. And I paid full price, even though he didn't do what he said he
Are
was
you
going to
kidding
do.
me?
And I just kind of left. And I
Did you
did
give
that
a
both
tip?
times. I did not leave a tip.
do you live your life battling all of these people and being like, no, this isn't right, you fucked up, you need to fix this, like your nails situation,
Right.
or do you find someone where that situation isn't going to come up because they're not going to mess around and they're going to give you the full service,
and
they're going to be honest.
Yes.
Do you
that one.
surround yourself with that group of people?
You try, and you
but
can't
it's-
control other people's behaviors, but you can control how you respond to it. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like I think it goes back to like, even though Kirsten brought up a good point of like you should treat people how they want to be treated.
Yeah.
But I think like it's a little bit of both. Like, yes, we should treat people how they want to be treated, but you should also treat people how you want to be treated. And if they are not treating you or reciprocating or depositing, because our mother says we're withdrawals, then I think that you should just don't fuck with them. You shouldn't fuck with them at all. So I just think you should be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should just be honest, because like,
Because now I'm still mad, and he got his coin.
yeah,
He got his coin, and I'm here with basic ass nails, and I don't like my nails. They don't be as wild as Danielle's, because I got, you know,
because you don't got.
I got a different kind of job in the fashion industry, so I gotta be a little toned down. But I like my nails popping,
Right.
and these are not popping. So, but he got his coin though, so
and he's not mad.
he's not mad, and I'm still mad about it 4 days later.
True
Yeah.
that. Especially when you feel like you're being taken advantage of. That's
Yes.
where I draw the line. If I feel like I'm being taken advantage of, I'm going to say something.
See, I'm very assertive with people I know, people that I'm close with.
Really?
Like they know. I'll say something quick. But
That's
the
good.
thing is,
With
I think
strangers.
also in society, I don't want to be looking like the wild ass black girl. So I'd be like toning it down.
I've heard that from other like black friends of mine. It's like, I just don't
Angry
want to make a
black
scene.
woman.
Yeah.
Yes, because then
Yeah,
they
you
think
don't. You
you're
can't be
That's
cussing people out in
fucked up.
public.
Like,
because
why?
then you get generalized.
That's
Yeah.
so ridiculous.
And then you also give a bad. You forward that narrative.
Right.
So then it's like, oh, let me be quiet. I do that for coworkers too, because everybody says I'm mean. So
But you
Do
know
they
what I
really?
learned?
yeah, they say I'm
Why?
mean. So then I gotta like
Well, we
not
both
say. I gotta like not say how I feel. Like
But
you know,
you
you
know-
catch yourself being quiet when you should be speaking up.
Right. But you don't have to get loud. It's very, I think, actually more, you get your point across when you're being lower. Like, heck, I will beat your ass. I'm not gonna get loud in this motherfucker, but I will throw your ass against that motherfucking wall.
Okay, I'm getting
You talk
scared
to
right
me
now.
real crazy
You're
one more
scaring
time
me
about
right
my
now.
purple lipstick, and my purple lipstick gonna be all over this bitch.
What the fuck?
I'm saying, like, I didn't have to yell.
I'm kind of scared right now, low key.
You don't
Like,
have to get crazy.
no, that is way scarier to me than like,
Yeah, that you're so
bitch,
calm.
I'm gonna beat your ass.
Yeah.
Because that sounds like a chihuahua, and this sounds like this sounds
it's
like, oh,
gonna
you're
be
serious.
Yeah. I think you get your point across
Right.
more that way than being the angry black woman are
Right.
crazy.
So my motto for Spreeisms is protect your peace. And so it's all about self-caring. It's all about setting boundaries and just basically doing things that forward your mental health, that improve your mental health. So it's all about mental health and finding ways to protect your peace. And so that's what I educate on in several different ways, via my personal experience, my stories if you catch them on Instagram, or, you know, the YouTube videos.
Is it kind of something where it's like as you're learning yourself, you're teaching others?
Yeah, because I'm 26, so I'm like, and I've only been in the field as a therapist, so I'm not like anybody's guru on anything. And so even some of the theories that I have, I be changing like 6 months later, like actually, you know, based on what I learned, like
I was wrong.
I was wrong. But it's more of like this documentation of my experience as a therapist and a 26-year-old, you know, 20-something millennial black female in Atlanta, like all of these, you know, intersections. I'm just, you know, talking about different ways that I'm learning how to like set boundaries, and, you know, even you know, not being assertive as I should in certain situations, like with the hair
Right.
situation. I'm like, you know, learning that, and that was on my story too. So people are
is it
learning with
really?
me. Yeah,
That's
so people
so cool.
So I'm ranting, and then I'm like,
Right.
you know, let's be positive also. So you know.
So he,
At least
okay,
I got my hair done.
At least I got my
focus on the positive.
Yeah.
But then also self-growth at the same
Yes,
time. Like, you need
so-
to be able to reflect on your own
yeah,
like, mistakes
that
or experience.
self-discovery, that self-growth,
Absolutely.
and then also just taking care of yourself, that self-care, finding different ways to protect your peace, like I said, and also
What does that look like? Like, how do you protect your peace?
So a balance of finding environments that are good for you, and then also creating that environment that's good for you as well. Like, I might be stressed out as fuck at work, right? But what do I do after work? How do I offset that? How do I counterbalance that, that stress? So I might go to the spa. I might read a book. I might have good friends that I could vent to on my way. And I live an hour away from work, so
You're venting.
I'm venting for an hour,
That's
and then
a
I
long
get
commute.
home, and then I'm cool. I don't bring that energy into my house
Right.
because I just released that, and I'm good now.
So is venting good?
I believe venting is good if
Really?
it does not
Yes.
last too long.
Right. It can't go on for
It
weeks.
cannot go on for weeks. Or it
a
can't even,
one-time
just kind of
Yeah.
like release that energy and
Yeah.
move forward.
Yeah.
That's what venting is for. If you are venting about the same thing, I've probably been venting about these nails for a couple of days, but if you're venting about the same thing for mad long, like why? Now
Yeah.
you're just harboring negative energy, and that's not healthy.
Right. But you could also, like, I think, like, I was thinking when you were talking about that, about protecting your peace, I think also you have to realize when someone is protecting your peace, like when she says it to me. So, for example, how I was saying, like, I listen to music on my way to work.
Yeah.
If, say, like, my mom calls, because she calls morning, noon, and night. and I can feel
You
like,
too?
yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Me too.
If I'm on my way to work,
Your mom calls me.
she'll call you.
She just
Right.
likes to chat.
Everybody. She'll talk to everybody. If I'm on my way to work and say she calls me like with a bad negative vibe and I'm trying to go to work in a different mode, I will tell her, Mom, I gotta talk to you later.
Yeah.
It'll be like within the first 2 minutes, like you could already feel I'm like, hey,
I already
Mom,
know where
like,
you're coming from.
right, like right now,
Like,
I'm
she's trying to
get-
vent to you,
yeah,
right?
I'm trying to get in my mindset. I'm trying to protect my peace on my way to work. So let me call you when I get off.
Yeah.
Because like that's a way of protecting your peace. Like I can't do this.
That
right
is.
now. So let's come back to this.
Because that energy is transferable. So then
That's so true.
you end up, having that residual energy when you walk in and work and it ain't even yours
to begin with.
to begin with.
Yeah.
So you don't want that. So I think like you just also have to realize when you're not protecting your peace, when you feel like someone's coming to your space and you're like, you know what? How can I remove myself from this? Because
Yeah.
this is not a good vibe for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I think there's also a balance too. Like you kind of find that balance even, especially with like work. I talk about working women, like you have all of these requirements and all of these responsibilities, and those are important because we have these goals that we want to achieve, right? But then just also finding that balance where you are not answering the phone or where you are saying, hey, I get off at 6, I'm leaving at like 6, right? Because that's something for me. I'll work till 11 o'clock at night in the office and nobody is there. Like, no, I'm leaving at 6 today. And that's just like
Do you set those boundaries sometimes or no? That's hard for you.
Well, sometimes I'm usually try to set those boundaries. So there's only 2 nights a week that I work late. And that's my boundary because I enjoy what I do. And so it's cool. I don't mind working late, but then I also see like 2 weeks into working late, 4 days straight, it just ends up becoming heavy, like too much, right? And so that's one of the things. I actually have a workshop coming up soon, so that's one of the things that I'll be teaching about, something that I've learned in my own personal experience of how to create that work-life balance.
Yeah, but here's the thing is like you hear all of these things about like successful people and how you need to work those long hard hours in order to get to those places. Like, can you have that balance and still make it to those places?
I believe so. Yeah.
There's this like her talking about work-life balance.
Yeah.
There's this stylist that I follow, and she was saying if I want to work, grind it out 6 months straight, no days off, and I want to do that, I'm going to do that. But also if I want to take a 5-month vacation and turn my business phone off, I'm going to do that too.
Damn.
That's counterbalance. I know a couple people who do that.
So she's like, if you
counterbalance?
Yeah. She's like basically saying like basically need to do, what I got from it is do what you feel is right at that time. If you want to grind it out for 3 years and be like, I'm not getting into a relationship, I'm going to be celibate, like I'm going to really focus and hone in on my, like whatever it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Then you do that. And then if you want to take a year off, do that too.
Yeah.
I think like you should just feel
whatever your piece is.
Yes.
It's like it depends on how you feel in that moment.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Whatever
profound.
works for you.
Yeah, whatever works for you.
Yeah.
Because
really
before
cool.
I was thinking like, okay, like I'm gonna do 2 vacations a year.
Right.
I think that's like good. I'm gonna do my family one and then I'm gonna do my personal one.
You just had it strategized, which is good too.
And I do one at the beginning of the year because we all have time off. We take a family vacation at the beginning of the year, and then I do mine at the end of the year, and then I just like work
in between. Yeah.
So I think like I was like, oh, this is work-life balance for me. But then I'm getting to that point like, you know what, I'm fucking calling out. Like I need a mental health day.
Yeah.
Right.
Work-life balance for me is doing something every day for myself.
Like
so
what?
even alone time, and like we were talking about the meditation thing, like when I get to work, I might be in the parking lot for like 15 minutes as I get ready, because I just sat through traffic to get to work or drove an hour, without traffic. And so I'm sitting in the parking lot for like 15 minutes jamming, listening to a radio station or whatever, and that's like my time. Or I might walk across the street to buy my lunch, take a walk, something I do each day for myself. Or I might sleep in and say I'm not coming in till noon. Or I might leave early and get my nails done, or I might, whatever, just something different every day that I do for myself. And that's my balance, because I feel like I earn this, or I'm about to earn this. I'm gonna work hard today. I'm gonna work late, so I'm gonna sleep in. Something like that.
I think it's big. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think a big part of that is the mentality when you're doing those things, though. Because if you're just doing them and you're not even thinking about it, it doesn't you don't calculate it as something that it's like, oh, I'm doing this for me. Let me enjoy this.
Yeah, self-care is very intentional.
Right.
Yes.
Self-care is an intentional thing.
Ooh, that's what I'm just realizing right now.
And it may become a habit
Right?
over time, and certain things are a habit. You might do them, without thinking, but self-care is intentional.
Right.
Totally. That's so true. Like whatever, literally, I think the entire theme of this conversation is like whatever you think is like what it is to you. Like you said, like your mom said, your
perception is your reality.
Yeah.
It's so true. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Kirsten, for joining us tonight.
I'm so hype. I'm in LA for the weekend. What we about to do next?
Some self-care, y'all. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week on the Pool House. Woo!